adoption. What do you remember from the first time you saw your mom's picture?
Oh my gosh. I remember her rosy cheeks. Like, her cheeks were super rosy, and she had just like this honest, pure look on her face. And I remember seeing a lot of people that would come and say, we want to adopt you, and they never come back for you. For her and her eyes and her smile, there was something that felt like home by looking at that picture. And I don't even know how to explain that, because I didn't even know what a home was, but I felt like I was safe looking at that picture in a way.
The first time I saw her picture, it's black and white because it was from a newsletter, and she's just standing there, just looking in the camera. She's got the prototypical Ukrainian bow in her hair. I just couldn't get over her eyes, and just the fact I just saw something. I just knew she was my daughter, and I have no reason.
What was it about that, you think?
Her eyes they just really catch you. You could just tell that there was something special in her, and just went for it.
Why would the orphanage almost torture you with the photo?
I think when I was younger, bad attention was better than no attention. Mm-hmm. And I definitely pushed that to its limit. And I really don't know why they would use that besides just control, because I think I was one of those people that I would not give them the satisfaction of being scared and showing it, because, well, first of all, I'd get beat up if I did, but that's the one thing that if you don't show them that you're scared, and then they ultimately are controlling you. But by that picture and by choosing when I get to do it, that was a ticket way to control.
Well, and at one point, weren't they telling you she wasn't going to be your mom anymore?
Yeah. Well, because and I believed them, because it took 2 years for her to come.
I wanted to get her as soon as possible. I kept being reassured that Ukraine loved their kids and would never do anything bad to them, which we know was not true. At least where she was. And it was just waiting for them to figure out the law that they were going to enact to allow adoptions to happen. And I was told she would not know about me, but I had found out that she had known about me since a year after I first saw her picture. So, because I was allowed to send an anonymous birthday present to the orphanage.
And they said, this is from someone in America, and they opened the box and they just put them up high on a shelf. We weren't able to touch them or do anything, and I didn't really know what it was. But everything else, I guess she sent a lot of things I never received. Never received any letters from her at all, or pictures besides just her passport picture.
Describe the feeling of eventually being given that photo to keep.
Oh my gosh. And it was only that night before. The director gave me the picture of my mom to go to bed with, and I put it in a stand next to me. And that's the last thing I remember. And then the next thing you know, she's there.
We walk into this grim building with very few lights on, very old, and then into a massive room that looked like a hospital ward of a 1940s movie, and walked over to her bed, and up she popped, her hair all tousled and dressed in many layers, and she listens to them like she just was looking at my aunt and I going, what's happening?
And my mom's there, black shadowy figure, because she had her hood on and she took it off that had fur, and my Aunt Sherry was there.
And she got my passport photo out of the bedside table and said, I know you, I have your picture, you're my mom. And I lamely said, I know you, I have your picture too. So, but crazy.
And you're thinking what at the time?
No, I'm thinking once I got to see that woman's face, I know you. It's like, I looked at her, I was like, I know you. I have your picture. And that's the first thing. Like it was like I was never a good sleeper to begin with. So I was.
You hated sleep, right? For the longest time, you would
In
hate to go to
America, yeah. And to this day, Aaron would tell you, like, I don't sleep at all. I thrive on 2 hours of sleep because I'm just so used to it. Mm-hmm. But that's the one place you can't escape at all of things that happened and I experienced, to the point like you can feel things on your body, you can smell things so raw, and when I close my eyes, like it goes straight back to some of those darker days.
I wish I could have helped her more. I wish she'd not been afraid to tell me. She says there's still some even harder and worse stuff than what's in the book, but she's not ready to talk about it yet.
What was the hardest part in the book for you to read?
The hardest part was knowing how many times she had been abused, sexually abused, and physically abused, and psychologically abused.
You have these dreams. When in the dreams, you know it's so real, but outside you tell like nothing ever happened. I told my mom nothing ever happened. It was it was great. Everything was good. Never was hurt. I was happy.
I spent some time thinking I wasn't a good mother because I should have known. Well, I used to say, okay, I'm not a violent person, but if I knew I was going to die tomorrow, there's a list of people I'd take out first.
When I came to America, they said like I was not, if I kept having the life that I had there with lack of nutrition. I mean, I was like 36 pounds when I came to America. Mm-hmm. So, and I was not even 8. I was about to be 8. The doctors in America said I wouldn't have made it past 10 had it stayed the same.
For years, she's always said, "You saved my life." And there's, when she got the Laureus Award, she is thanking me for saving her life. And they put the camera on me and I'm like, no, because I always said no. And then I read the book and I said, I guess I did save your life. And she goes, I told you.
What conversations did you and your mom have after you found the adoption papers in the desk drawer?
Yeah, she was just telling me more about like my biological family and that she knew that what their names were. And my mom always gave them the benefit of the doubt and just like say they probably didn't have the money to support you and your medical needs that you needed. And she never like hid that ever. She would be curious with me about that. And I love that about her.
And how old are you?
9.
Yeah.
You're so asking silly question.
Love you.
Why?
Why do I love you? I just do.
In what ways do you think that benefited you?
I think by her being willing to talk about the whole adoption, like the papers, my family helped me start to reframe that it wasn't my fault. I wasn't the reason why they didn't want to keep me, and maybe I don't know the whole story, and helped me be a little more kinder to myself, but then also to have so much like less resentment and anger towards them as well, which I think I didn't realize how much I had until she made me see things in a different light and just having that compassion.